And if it shrinks inside this shell, boy, with my lisp, I down there did not get that out. But God, almost did it again. When it shrinks inside its shell, too many S's in that one for Daddy.
Well, hold on a minute, Mr. S. That scooter won't scramble without the starter. I'll have your super secret sonic starter back in the star, your sockmobile, sooner than you can say. Seymour Sebastian's stubborn sister Sandra stuck 7 silver splotches on Sarah Simpson's 6 squishy sponges.
My name is Daryl Felsberg, and for the last 20 years, I've been a road comic. Crossing the country, working some of the best and most unique venues, making audiences laugh. Along the way, I find myself in the coolest barbecue and taco shops around. Some famous, and some are about to be, because this is where Daryl eats.
I am thoroughly convinced that boiled shrimp is, without a doubt, the second tier, if you will, of the Corpus Christi food pyramid. The third one is barbecue. We love smoked brisket. We love all the barbecue meats. That's number 3. Number 2 is seafood. Today, I'm at a place called the Saltwater Grill on Corpus Christi on Cimarron. And honestly, most people wouldn't, if you know me, I don't like going to places that are not super authentic, especially when it comes to seafood. I was raised on the Gulf Coast. There was nothing for us to go down to the T-head, pick up a couple pounds of shrimp, bring it back home and boil it. So I love going to places out on the island or up front. But the Saltwater Grill, even though it's in town and closer to my mom's house, they've got terrific seafood fare. Yes, it's a nicer restaurant. You know, I like the places that are a little bit on the water, where maybe a boat comes up with a leathery skinned dude who has no teeth and is hawking shrimp from a boat, and then that restaurant turns around and sells it. And that's what we're used to getting. But it's just as fresh here at the Saltwater Grill and just as good. Now, if you're not familiar with boiled shrimp and how it's done, okay, you got to understand that it has to be done correctly, okay? So you boil it in hot water for a few minutes, take it out, immediately put on ice. And the reason why you put it on ice is so it stops cooking. Otherwise, if you don't, it'll separate from its shell, and then frankly just becomes a shitty, weird, textured sea critter, or sea bug, if you will. Now, the challenge of it is, I love good cocktail sauce that has horseradish, but I like extra horseradish. So I have a tendency to put a little extra in there, probably more than I should, but there's just something about the flavor, something about the bite, it just makes it so good. So, we got our cocktail sauce. Some people call it red sauce or shrimp sauce, whatever. I don't care, okay? I got my sea critters, or my sea bugs, and the way they do these, they devein theirs. If you notice, they take out the vein that's got a split to it. I don't like that. I'll eat it shit and all. I don't care. It's boiled in water, and I'll eat its little shit pipe that runs down its back. Now, the good news is when these are split like this, they're usually pretty easy to clean. You just pinch the tail, a little bit of pressure, and boom, they just comes right off, and you're ready to go. I'll show you another one. What we typically do is we would grab a few feet off, all right, and remove those. Then boom, give it a pinch. See, that whole thing comes out. Sprinkle a little lemon on there if you care to. Drop it in the sauce. They make a great shrimp here. Great boiled shrimp. I'm going to finish my appetizer of my boiled shrimp. Okay? And then we're going to see what we order next, see what Daryl eats here at the Saltwater Grill in Corpus Christi, Texas.
2 hours later.
All right, so we went with our entree meal, the main dish, if you will. I went with the redfish blackened. Now, redfish is a game fish that's denoted by black spots most of the time. Sometimes they may not have any. Sometimes they have more than 2 or 3. But typically they have one on their tail, and it's originally a game fish. But for the longest time, you couldn't get redfish in a restaurant up until recently. So that blackened redfish, the blackened shrimp, mashed potatoes, and broccoli and cheese. I opted not for the vegetable sauteed because I've had enough vegetables. So
I bet you're wondering why Larry has a shoe on his head.
Let's see how it tastes. so good. Redfish is so damn good. I don't understand why we can't get it in more places. So the redfish is spectacular. I also got 4 blackened shrimp as well because I didn't eat just a pound earlier. And then I didn't get rice. I typically get Italian rice, but I got mashed potatoes and gravy. I guess that's makes it a little bit more Texan, but again, wonderful dish. And of course, I love redfish. Love catching them. I don't like cleaning them, but I do love eating them. And I'm so glad you can get it in restaurants now. So again, we're at the Saltwater Grill. This is the second tier of the Corpus Christi food pyramid, which is seafood and primarily boiled shrimp. If you're in town, check them out. Saltwater Grill. It's a great place to go. So until next time, we'll see what Daryl eats next. Or I don't know how to end a segment.